Hello, YouTube. Today I want to tell you about a very interesting development in the former Soviet Union, and it shows you how far human ingenuity can go against very bad weather and idiotic economy. You see, today one can find newsreel clips from 50, 60 years ago on the web where drivers in the USSR are observed pouring fuel on vehicle tires and setting them on fire. Moreover, we're not speaking about products intended for disposal, something that needs to be burned like junk. No, on film, we can see tires on the wheels of trucks. So what was the point of this vandalism? After all, in the Soviet Union, there could not be deliberate sabotage, and especially filming it, no. Everyone who lived during the Soviet era remembers that one of the main problems of the country had always been the deficit, lack of commodities and goods. Moreover, it concerned not only unimportant and rarely used goods, but also the most basic ones. There were several reasons for this state of affairs: the disadvantages of a planned economy and the lack of technological capabilities for the production of certain goods, products. This included, for example, winter car tires. Car owners, automobile owners from the USSR used all-season or summer tires all year around. Winter tires were absent in the country as a class until the turn of the 1970s and the 1980s. However, this did not turn into a big problem. Most automobile owners took care of their vehicles, and those vehicles spent the winters in the garage. As for cargo and special equipment, the low speeds made it possible to do with the all-season tires. In addition, the best domestic models were used on public transportation, as well as also the tires from Scandinavian manufacturers and from countries with similar climatic conditions. They went for public transportation. The rubber industry of the USSR used mainly natural rubber, which lost a lot of elasticity and strength at low temperatures. This had a negative effect not only on traction, but also on the wear resistance of the tires themselves. In the cold, they simply collapsed and burst under load, especially in the northern regions of the country, which I quite often describe to you in my other videos about paranormal phenomena in the Soviet Union. So I want you to understand how difficult it was getting into certain areas and regions of Russia during severe winters. So you understand. So it was this unpleasant phenomenon that the drivers of the USSR fought with such an unusual method. The tires were doused with high-octane gasoline and set on fire. In the cold, the rubber practically did not burn, but the fuel, it burned good. At the same time, the rubber itself warmed up well, becoming more elastic and soft. In winter conditions in the 1960s and 1970s, the procedure for such warming up of rubber before a trip was mandatory and regulated. It often had to be repeated several times on the road. Blowtorches were often used for this purpose. The first specialized winter tires in the USSR appeared towards the end of the 1970s. It was the proverbial snezhinka, snowflake, an ordinary rubber on which spikes were installed. The presence of spikes improved the situation somewhat, increasing traction, but the quality of the rubber itself has not changed. In the cold, it still stiffened and collapsed from the load. Therefore, even with the advent of the snowflake, blowtorches and gasoline tanks did not disappear from the cabins of heavy trucks. It wasn't until the 1980s that experiments began with thread pattern and rubber composition. Some improvements have been achieved, but the problem could not be completely solved because in the late 1980s, material shortages began and the technical capabilities of many enterprises were exhausted. So now you know why the tires were set on fire in the USSR. And once again, this is my tribute to the ingenuity and hardness of the people who lived in the USSR under the regime of the, through the Soviet years, because I remember the tricks we had to resort to, the ways to improve our situation with almost nothing, with very scant goods. I don't even want to think about 1930s and of course 1940s, World War II, and other calamities that befell the Soviet Union, and yet people survived. More would have survived if the conditions were better, if they had not been subjected to such economy and system. But there are no ifs in history, and that's what I wanted to let you know. Thank you for your attention to my work, and I'll bring you more information about the former Soviet Union and its paranormal phenomena. You can see a lot in my other tapes. Its weapons, its espionage, intelligence operations, space exploration, and so forth. If you like my videos and can you support my research, please do so through the links you'll find in description to this video. Please like my videos. Please tell others. Thank you.